Let's now turn to trial attorney and legal analyst Mercedes Colwin. Mercedes, it's good to have you on the show. You know, Ivanka Trump has avoided testifying against her dad and the Trump organization. She obtained her own lawyer. She appealed repeatedly to try to get out of taking the stand today. That, of course, has been denied. Why is her testimony so crucial to this case, and what are you expecting from today?
Great to be on with you, Markie. Thanks for having me. It's really very strategic of Attorney General Letitia James to wait until now. Ivanka Trump, as you know, has been distanced from her family. She had tried desperately to get out from under the subpoena. Judge Engeron said that her testimony was vital. Many reasons for that, obviously center around that penthouse that Trey talked about. She was given the offer to purchase that apartment for $8.5 million, yet in the financial documents that were set forth at Deutsche Bank looking for loans, it was valued at over $20 million. So that type of evidence is critical for Letitia James to get down into it. Secondly, we know that Ivanka Trump was considered the heir apparent. This is someone that had always been considered the confidant to Donald Trump. She will likely not lie for her family. Obviously, she's not going to lie. That's a separate crime if she does, the crime of perjury. But it's really looking and focusing on someone who's already distanced herself from her family and likely will give and provide some key admissions against the Trump organization and her individual family members at the crosshairs of this controversy.
She's obviously the one child who has distanced herself from this current campaign. She testified, you know, rejecting the idea of voter election fraud from 2020. So I think a lot of people are interested in what today has in store. You bring up the penthouse that she and her husband rented at Trump Park Avenue. You know, so obviously testimony will focus on real estate transactions. If you were her attorney and you were in her corner today, how would you advise her to respond to those accusations later on today?
Great question, Markie. Certainly, if she's distanced herself from those financial situations that you just mentioned, without doubt, say to the judge, I had nothing to do with the financials. I had nothing to do with interactions with the accountants that put together those financials. I had no idea on how these properties were valued. Really distance yourself if that is the actual truth. I would always counsel clients to be truthful, obviously, testify truthfully. And if there is any evidence that she needs to display to Attorney General James, disclose it now. We know that she's been trying to fight her testimony, but Attorney James is very strategic. Placing Ivanka Trump as the last witness is key, at least in her estimation, to the prosecution of the Trump organization.
But was it always the case that she would testify last, though? Or is that just how the cookie crumbled, you know, after her appeals process, that she came after Dad? Was she supposed to come after the brothers and before President Trump?
It wasn't certain. It hasn't been reported that she was the actual, at least that she hadn't been the last witness. But having her as the last witness, and we know that there was this rigmarole and all these procedural fights about her testimony, may not have actually delayed it. And Frank, it may have just been Attorney General James saying that this is someone who is vital for the prosecution. It really does resonate exactly what you said, Mark, that she is so clear and distance from her family. She's already testified against what her father has testified about the election.
Right.
This is someone that can clearly be very beneficial for the prosecution.
Yeah, we'll see what we get out of today. Lastly, Mercedes, while I still have you, tell me what I'm missing here. I mean, the judge in this case has already deemed that there's been fraud. But now, after the fact, now we're hearing from President Trump and his sons and Ivanka today. I mean, it seems backwards to a lot of people, even those who don't like the former president. So what am I missing here? Why is this the order of operations?
Great question, Markie. It really is about the magnitude of the penalty. We know that Letitia James is looking for $250 million in penalties and to strip them of their ability to actually have business enterprises here in New York State. Under the law and under the Constitution, if you are going to deprive individuals of this type of property and right and privilege within the state and frankly around the country, you have to provide them due process. The fact that they're coming forward and they do have already a very significant harsh judgment by the judge saying that I have found, based on all the evidence, that you've actually defrauded your lenders, your investors, the banks, all of that. That is very significant. Now we turn to what the penalties are.
Yeah,
those penalties are pretty extreme. And that's where the testimony comes in, and that's why it's so vital.
Maybe it's just us non-legal minds, but it seems like due process would be letting the family make their case before you rule on it. Mercedes Colwin, thanks so much. We appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.